I joined in 1998 when I was 20 years old.
I joined right out of high school in August of 2009.
86.
I joined the military in 1988. I was in from 88 to 94.
I joined right out of high school. I graduated in May of '89 and I was in boot camp in September of '89.
2014.
I joined the military December 16th, 1986.
7 July 1975.
I joined the Army in 2001.
Well, there wasn't anything to do. When I got out of high school, there was nothing to do except go in the military.
Well, I always kind of had a desire to serve, I think mostly was the biggest thing. Plus, there was some college education that I was happy to go after as well.
Just serve my country and be like my grandfather after me when he went to Vietnam, so I decided that I needed to do my time.
Service to my country, and it was kind of a family thing. It's been a tradition in my family to serve. I have an uncle that actually served, one of the few Alabamians that served on the USS Alabama, so, but it's in my family and service to country.
So I wanted a good start and a good stepping stone to figure out myself and what I wanted to do.
I was on my journey through college and just didn't know what I wanted to do at that time. So it was another opportunity to do something else and try to figure things out in the meantime.
Well, I knew college wasn't for me and I was an Army brat, so I grew up in the military, so I knew that's kind of what I wanted to do.
Well, the recruiters were on me through high school, and I told them I wasn't joining. But after working odd jobs and everybody saying we need experience, I decided let's join the military and make some money and earn a trade.
I was working at a oil change and got pulled in and said, hey, what are you going to do with the rest of your life? I had already graduated college. I was helping run this oil change place in Tuscaloosa, and I said, I don't know why. And he said, well, have I got a deal for you? And the next thing I knew, I was signed up in the military.
Well, there were a lot of good times and bad times, but I think the times that I was, few times that I was able to save lives, that was the most important thing.
Probably the camaraderie, like the people you meet. The people you meet when you're in the military, especially in the Marine Corps, it's a different type of brotherhood. Like you ain't gonna find it anywhere else on the planet. You can't compare it to anything. You can always rely on one another and all that. So
I was fortunate enough that my brother and I served together. So he was in another unit. He was a CV, but we deployed together and multiple times. So that was a good opportunity for me to stay close to family even when we were overseas.
The most memorable thing I remember about serving is the brotherhood, the bond that we made. Even to this day, if somebody calls, hits me on Facebook and says, hey, I need you, I'm probably going to take as many vacation days as I've got and get out there and help them, whatever their problem is.
There's actually something very specific. The ship I was on was deployed in July of 1990, and I don't remember where we were originally supposed to go, but Iraq invaded Kuwait, so we got sent to the Gulf of Oman, but on the way we had passed Vietnam, and we picked up a boatload of Vietnamese refugees. Their boat didn't have power, didn't have any food, barely had water. So we picked them up and took them to Singapore. It took about 2 days for the Singapore government to agree to take them, so that was pretty memorable.
Always the guys you serve with, the brotherhood, the friendships that you develop, and then the camaraderie, the veterans that you work here with. I enjoy that too. Have a lot of friends here that are veterans.
Most memorable time was serving along with some good guys. Spent time in Japan, overseas, spent time in the Middle East, drove a tank in the Desert Storm, Persian Gulf War, and went through some rough times, but it's an honor to serve.
I went to Afghanistan twice, so I'd have to say the first time is a big eye-opener. I really enjoyed the people I was with and the camaraderie we had together.
Deployments overseas, I've been several places in the world that I wouldn't have went, but deployments and the people that I work with.
Sacrifice. First thing is sacrifice. For the families, for the, the sailors, the soldiers that serve, it's always about sacrifice.
I think celebrating not just the ones who serve or who have served, but also the ones who've lost their life and their families.
You celebrate your brothers that went before you and after you and you're currently serving, because you respect them all, no matter what they did, which branch.
I think it's a time that we can honor those that really paid the ultimate price.
Well, Veterans Day is a special day for me. We have a lot of veterans in my family. My granddad served in World War II, and I had an uncle who was in the Marine Corps. He was killed in Vietnam. And I have a brother who also works here at Thompson Tractor, and he served in the Marine Corps for 6 years. So we have a lot of servicemen in our family, and we appreciate all veterans.
It's a day to be proud of what I did, but also to be kind of thankful and grateful that now I get to go home to my family every night. I get to sleep in a warm bed and get a full 8 hours of sleep. So I'm thankful, grateful, and proud for what I did.
Veterans Day, well, like historically, that was the day the armistice was signed to end World War I. But like, it's turned into more of a honoring those that have served and for the sacrifices and the just the things they go through while they're serving, and their patriotism to the country and willingness to give their lives in honor of this country.
As a parent of a veteran, very proud, and I don't know, it's a proud moment, proud day. We should honor all our veterans.
It's a time to honor, like you said, to honor the people that's been before and after us, and just a little time set aside to recognize them.
Veterans Day means a lot to me, even from a young boy. I remember marching in a parade with my grandfather, who was a World War II vet, and I was a Cub Scout, so to march with those guys, so Veterans Day means a lot to me, because those guys are my heroes. I don't think about myself, but think about those guys, and
Veterans Day, I think more than anything for me, it's about never forgetting. So it's a way to say thanks to veterans, but more so than anything, to never forget all the sacrifices that have been made from the very beginning of this nation and until now, and of course going forward. Go Navy.
Sorry, Matt. Go Army, beat Navy.
Go Air Force, man. That's the only way to go.
Yeah, the Marines are the best. That's just straight facts.
Go Navy, beat Army.
Semper Fi, go Marines.
Beat Navy, of course.
I guess I have to say it's that time of year. Go Army, beat Navy.